Okay, good morning. So I did a video just about 10 minutes ago, and I didn't like some of the verbiage I used, so I'm gonna redo it again. It was only 5 minutes long, but with all the things going on, in the news with certain elites, I don't even want to say their names because I'm watching everybody on social media actually get into it and be jailhouse attorneys on it. Listen, I was watching Ancient Aliens, and that dude with the funny hair, like I'm one to be talking about funny hair, but the dude with the funny hair, I love that guy. I forgot his name, it's terrible. But, he's like, what if? And he starts talking about Ancient Aliens. He's the what if guy. He does the right thing. He asks questions, and the question what and why are always very important to ask. So I was thinking to myself, what if these certain files that they're talking about don't exist at all? What if it's all a farce to keep you distracted and fighting with the other side's base? What if it's to turn the same side on each other while they simultaneously fight the other side who are turning on each other too? Wouldn't that be something? What if the politicians and medium power brokers of the world are following orders above them that the end game for what's going on in the world in the last 20 years, but 5 in particular, since a lot of people have woken up that all the governments of the world worked together 5 years ago in tandem to lock us down and put us in face diapers. Yet, less than 5 years later, they're at a world war. At least we know all the governments of the world can work together sometimes, huh? It's interesting. But what if the end goal was a population control and depopulation agenda? What if the population that is left is a lot easier to control then, and they're wanting to institute even more slavery upon humanity? What if the dots that are so close together are still not being connected? Because if you know the end game, you realize everything else is a distraction. I may be leaving Facebook soon because, not that like I'm leaving and taking my ball and going home like anyone gives a shit. It isn't about that. It's more about principles. If I stay on, it's just so I can post videos, but they're not even letting me post things. I tried to post videos in a group, and they wouldn't let me. I'm not allowed to post in groups. I'm not allowed to reply to messages because of what they deem to be, in the last year, they've called it hate group speech, dangerous organizations. What the fuck organization do I belong to? I belonged to the Marine Corps at one time. I was a police officer for over 20 years. I worked in a prison for 5 years. Dangerous organizations? Yeah, I guess you're kind of right, but I haven't been doing none of that kind of stuff. So what are you talking about? Dangerous organizations because I speak some type of opinion or truth that's not popular with either political party? I just want freedom for everybody. I think, so there's something here that a friend of mine posted, and it's something that really it hit home for me, and it's, someone once told me I've never been disliked by someone I want to trade places with, and it really changed my perspective. A lot of times I don't have to relearn these things. A lot of times I personally just have to remember them. Think about it. have you ever truly been disliked by somebody that you'd want to change places with? I'm currently disliked by somebody who lives in their mommy's basement. And when I describe who that is, which I won't do, but I really want to trade places with them. Their karma is really their karma. So, yeah, I've never been disliked by somebody I'd want to trade places with. That's one thing that I think is worth saying. And I wouldn't want to trade places with any puppetician who has sold their fucking soul. You know, and there's something else also, if Kathy sees this, thank you. But also not to take criticism from someone who you wouldn't take advice from. So if someone's going to criticize you, but you wouldn't take advice from them, you could outright just start laughing at them, or you could smile at them. I mean, what are you going to do? No, thank you. I don't need your advice. Your criticism should be advice. So you're not allowed to criticize me because your advice is completely ridiculous, and you're always coming to me for advice. So why would I let someone who comes to me for advice then give me criticism? Think about those things. If you're somebody who I'll take criticism from, and there's plenty of people out there I would, you're more likely than not somebody who I would ask for your advice. And that's not an ego statement. Those are just true statements. Would you ask any of the people screaming and yelling about who the political rulers are going to be and about this and about that? Would you really want to take advice from them? Forget about their pretended so-called authority. If they didn't have the so-called authority, which would take everyone's personal beliefs to change, that man's authority simply does not exist to govern other men. Would you take their criticism? Would you take their advice? Would you take the advice of people who do what they're told and are mercenaries for pay? I don't know. These are the questions that I had, the musings I have sometimes in the mornings. Like if I was to talk about the 2 times I've died and the different things I've seen and some of the certain things that have occurred, including mind speak and different other supernatural things that I now start to call simply natural, just phenomenon, electromagnetic phenomenon. Because sometimes we can't be communicated with from the other side, so to speak, in the same way that we would communicate with one another. If I told some of those stories, what would happen? He's nuts. Put him in an ER or something. Psych ER. Yeah, get him evaluated. And the person that would make that determination would be somebody who more likely than not believes in the bearded invisible guy in the devil's sky. You're the one who needs to be evaluated. If you vote Republican, Republican, or Demopublican, and you believe in human authority, you need to be evaluated. Not somebody who wants real freedom and voluntarism. And right now, they're creating a dialectic where the Republicans will fight each other within their own party, where the Democrats will fight each other in their own party, yet simultaneously be fighting one another. And these are the people with their fingers on the fucking button and sending our militaries out to war. And sending a soon-to-be decommissioned, was going to be decommissioned this year, USS Nimitz, out to the Persian Gulf. I wonder what's going to happen to the Nimitz. Has anything occurred yet that's officially brought America into World War III? Officially? It's a joke. Okay, it's divide and conquer. When you know the end game, these dots that are almost connected, you should be able to connect them. They're so close. You don't get caught up in the minutia of Epstein's fucking island and this and that and the other thing. Most of those people are probably sipping margaritas on an island. Okay, There's a difference between conspiracies and theories. Okay, there's conspiracy. There's theories. I have a theory. It's not a conspiracy. It's just a theory. Those words should never go together, conspiracy theory. Conspiracy has its own definition. Theory has its own definition. Look them up independently of one another. So this is just a theory. I have no evidence. My theory is a lot of these people who do these power moves, these really public things for they, no one would do them if they all ended up murdered after they did them. So I think people like George Floyd and Chavez, whatever that cop's name was in 2020, Maxwell, okay, Epstein, they are all out sipping margaritas on an island, in my personal opinion. I don't even think they're dead, personally. Just a theory. Just a theory. Here's an actual conspiracy. The powers that should not be are partaking in a population cull via wars, man-made diseases, and needlecraft. And it's also part of a population control agenda. To shrink the population, then to control it. That's an actual conspiracy that's going on. I'm not going to go any deeper than that, but that's a real conspiracy. There's a difference between conspiracy and theory. So Facebook can keep, censoring me and telling me that I'm this and that, and extremists for speaking just like this. If this seems extreme to you, I don't know what to tell you. So maybe I'm just an extremist, I guess. And it said violent extremist. I'm not violent. I have the capacity to defend myself with my bare hands. I don't need to use a gun. Anything could be a weapon. This is the weapon. This right here is the intent. This cuts cigars. It helps me smash down my tobacco in my pipe and do stuff like that. It's not a weapon, it's a tool. But I can be talking to you calmly and smiling and not even get mad and stick it in your neck. Does that make me dangerous? No, I'm just simply saying this is a tool. This is the weapon. This is the intent. I don't have the intent to be violent. My intent is just to spread truth and protect myself. Maybe get others to prepare and protect themselves. We should be prepping right now. You should have a few months of extra food and water. You should look ahead to what's coming. Don't get caught up in all this slavery in our world is because of the left politicians. No, it's because of the right politicians. No, they're both working together, and it's because you fucking vote. Don't feed that beast. Stop voting. Although they've already said this will be the last election. It will be. No one's listening. Anyway, love and light. And I'm not really angry or on this negative tip or anything. I am a little pissed that the freedom of speech is being taken away. It's funny because I don't even have my OBS screen up right now. I'm looking at Facebook. I'm so used to talking to this computer, and how nervous I was a few years ago when I first started this, just talking to a computer. Now I'm just, he's nuts. He can talk to himself. No, I got my dog here, and there's people I have around. It's a beautiful planet. I don't just talk to myself. But I swear to God, sometimes it feels like I am. Nobody who's trying to speak out any kind of truth isn't going to go through these stages where, damn, you feel alone. And that's okay. Because none of us are alone, man. And I believe that the human spirit in the future, we're going to see great acts of courage and bravery and heroism in the midst of a lot of tragedy. I have another theory, now that I think of it, because I said the word tragedy. A theory that besides all the Epstein bullshit being distraction-tainment, political distraction-tainment. I have another theory that a lot of these disasters we're seeing on TV, the floods, the fires, the earthquakes, the eruptions of volcanoes and all this that they spoke about in the book of Revelations. You know AI can make everything look real on TV? Remember back during the vid where no one actually really knew anybody that actually had it. It was always, yeah, my cousin's aunt died of it. Yeah, a friend of mine at work, they died. Well, I had it. You're still alive. Yeah, but so-and-so's... Okay. Couldn't that be this? Has anyone come forth who's actually survived the flood, said they were in it, had actual footage, have an injury from it, or are we just getting all this on the news? So I have a theory. Most of it's fake. It's fear porn to keep us vibrating in this lower vibrational state of fear. Just a theory. Remember, theories aren't true. They're opinions. Okay? Conspiracies, on the other hand, are absolutely 100% true and they exist. It's when two or more people get together, plan, plot, and conspire to do something that they wouldn't otherwise be able to do out in the open without being stopped, because those things that they're doing is going to be a detriment to others and for a benefit to themselves, which is why they have a conspiracy to do it. They have to hide the fact they're going to do this thing. That's what a conspiracy is. That's the simple definition off the top of my head. It exists. So today you've gotten some theories. Today you've gotten some conspiracies. Happy Friday. I don't know if I'm staying on Facebook because fuck them if they're not going to let me speak and say simple truths without saying I'm a dangerous person and hate speech and all this other bullshit. Hate speech. Dangerous organizations. Like I said, what organizations? I was a Marine, I was a cop, I was a CO. I worked security at a hospital. That was probably the most dangerous organization, for sure. I'm currently in none of those organizations right now. I think the only dangerous organization we have right now is organized religion, including the religion of the belief in authority and the religion of politics. Only lunatics get into politics, and all ticks are parasites. Period. Full stop. There is no political solution to this. It's going to be a spiritual solution. Notice I didn't say religious, because politics in itself is religious. It's the dogmatic religious beliefs that these people have that create pain for the rest of us who just want to live our lives and be left alone. Anyway, happy Friday. Other than that shit, I'm really, truly blessed right now, and I'm going to enjoy it for a little bit. I'm rewiring my nervous system to not being in constant state of fight or flight. I went through some legal problems. I went through a real-life self-defense situation that was not of my doing, and or that I didn't actually initiate. And here I am on the other side of it, okay? Saying prayers for all the people involved. And with that said, man, everyone have a good weekend. Nothing but love. Stay safe. Stay frosty. Stay prepped. Fuck Facebook. And peace out, man.